Hi there everyone. In this video we're going to have a look at the hockey press that we're going to play in 7-a-side this year. Now this is the formation we're going to play. So starting from the back, obviously you have a goalkeeper. You'll notice I've put you at the top of the D. For a lot of the game I would like you to stand there. We have two centre backs. You'll notice I haven't put them at level. You never really ever want to be level with someone because it's too easy for the ball to be passed between you, so I've just offset them slightly. Then a centre half. Then we have a left wing, a right wing and a centre forward. We will also have three rotating players off to the side of the pitch here. And what will happen, these three will all come in at once and take these three positions. And these three positions will come up to take these three, and the top three will rotate off. So you have to get used to playing every single position, and that's why when we look at the press it's really important you understand every single person's role, because you will be playing every single position. So we're going to look at it always from a 16, but this can be replicated, from the halfway line or wherever we're looking at. So it's a sevens pitch, so it's not a huge pitch, just to remember. That's why you haven't got the other two horizontal lines in here. So we have a centre back, and most teams we play with have two centre backs, just like us. They'll have a centre half in the middle over here, and they have their two wingers, and they have the centre forward position. Now, I call it the box press. You see it a lot in hockey nowadays, and so basically there's a box here on the left, and there's a box here on the right. Now, this player on the ball really has just a few options. They can either pass it straight forward to the centre half, and you might be thinking, well, that's ridiculous, but that's actually what we want to happen. This is a little trap we're going to set. So that's the obvious pass they're probably going to go for. They can pass it out wide to the right wing. They can pass the ball to their other centre back, or if it's a good team, they might chuck the ball over this line of defence, and in theory they're in on goal pretty easily, but not many teams can do that. So what we're going to do is look at all four of these one by one and discuss what we would do in each of those situations. Right, so let's start off with this ball going straight in here. Now, this is what's probably going to happen the majority of the time, and it's what we want to happen. Okay, so as soon as that ball goes in, I want the centre back and the centre half to both close that ball down. Now, you're not necessarily trying to win the ball and make a tackle. What I certainly don't want you to do is commit a foul here. You're just putting pressure on that player, and we're going to force a pass. Now, if we force the pass and everyone does their job, we're going to win the ball back a lot, and then we're going to be attacking with like 4v2, and we should have so many chances to score goals. So that's the first really important bit. Those two players step as soon as they see the ball heading in that direction and put pressure. Do not foul, just get the head down, force a pass. Now everyone else has a role. So let's start with the centre back. Obviously, if you're on the right hand side, it's entered the box on the left, so you're going to naturally run towards your goal, and that's going to be a similar thing for the right wing. Okay, so you're basically that last line of defence. And you'll notice the goalkeeper's right up. We'll talk about him in a minute. So the right wing again, you're going to run towards your goal. But really what you're doing here is making sure that this player can't get the ball out to here. So you've got to be aware of where this player is. And in this instance, the further you are away from the ball, it will be easier to intercept. Okay? But I would maintain this sort of distance. Don't suddenly go and man mark. Just make it really difficult and force the pass, and we can go. Just be aware that they could just put the ball into space here. So you kind of got to just cover it and just see what happens. Now, the left wing, you have a similar job. When this ball comes in, we do not want this player to be easily, like for example, first time pass. So as soon as you see it go, you drop and you basically stop the ball coming to this player here. Now the centre forward, yours is a little bit more complicated. So you can either, I would stand in this sort of position, because if this player doesn't move, you can intercept the ball back if they try to pass it back. And also you're cutting off this option here as well. Okay, so if this player starts to move, then it's up to you whether you track them and let the ball go back there, or probably what will happen is we'll just let the ball go to this person because it's not dangerous for us, and we'll set up our press again. Okay. Right, and the goalkeeper, you're going to move as well. Now, if the ball somehow does reach this player, you're right at the top of the D to make a challenge. If you're right back here, they've got all the time in the world to make it. So I want to see the goalkeeper when we're pressing, especially a 16, right at the top of the D, and it's easier for you to tell your players what to do. So you should be able to see now it's about pressure on the ball and intercepting a pass. It's not about tackling. So let's see what it looks like when everyone moves at the same time. So ball has come in, and as soon as that ball has left that centre back stick, that's the sort of movement we are looking for. Okay. So you need to watch this as many times as you need to understand every position. Right. Now, let's look at this pass. Now, it's really important. Well, hopefully you can see that that pass isn't going to happen right now because this left wing could intercept it super easily. Okay? But don't be tempted to go too wide because this will happen. If you man mark, or goal mark I should say, this person, well, what this allows the opposition to do is put the ball into this space for this player to run in on. As a winger, if I have someone marking me close, all I have to do is just give this guy a look or this girl a look, and they know what I want to do. They just want to put it into that space, and I'm just going to run. Okay, you know, this person has to react. I already know what's going to happen, and we're in. Okay, so whatever you do, don't go too wide. And what will happen here is because this ball is not an option, they will track back. Okay, and then they can pass the ball. So let's put the ball over there. So hopefully you've just seen what happened. As the ball is passed, we all move over, okay, in the same direction the ball is played. We don't press the ball, we just move over with it. This one you probably step a little bit. The opposition should do this too, but you can see there's kind of like 6 of us pressing these 3 players here. Right. Now, very important, your job is to protect the middle. You're going to let the ball go down the line. Okay, always let the ball go down the line. If this player starts to run in here, then you have to front mark. Okay, because the ball is always coming down the line. So if I see the ball coming down the line and you let a person receive it, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed there. So, you know, if I was playing, I would have this player run out here and this player run into this space, for example. Okay, to try and create the movement. But you're always going to this player's always going to let the ball go down the line, and this player's always going to front mark. Okay. Now, if it does come in, sometimes, you know, a little lift over the stick, or we're just not quite in the right position, it will come in, and the same thing happens again. Those 2 players at the bottom of the box will challenge. The goalkeeper, you'll be coming across. The centre back will be covering and becoming our sweeper. The right wing, you're going to drop in a little bit as well. Obviously, this is still quite dangerous if they manage to get it into this space here. So you're just covering that pass. Centre forward, stop the ball coming back here. And that's basically it. At left wing, you just stop the ball coming back to this right wing player. So we're forcing the pass, and you know, ideally this player you want to be nice and close, and you can front mark. Okay. Now, if the ball does come to here, what I would say, don't try and tackle 1v1. Just channel, just push them out wide. Don't make a tackle, just force the mistake. Because what will happen is you'll just drift this player over. This player will come in, this player will come in, and we get our numbers back. So don't ever try to make the tackle. Just channel them out wide. Now, if this happens, this is a pretty ideal situation for us. Now, we're just going to, if the ball goes there, we're just going to move across. They will probably move across, and it's basically the same thing happening here. I would say though, if the ball is starting here, these 2 players, you may want to be a little bit more to this side, and just, it's not always these 2 players coming in, it's just if this player was in this box, these 2 players would come in. Okay. So, and we just wait to see what happens. Ideally it comes in, these two challenge, we cut off all the balls, and we're good to go. Now, if you do face a team that can aerial it over, well, all we're going to do is play like a half-court version of this. So we're just going to drop back, and then just go from there. So if it comes in, these two will go, and these will cover. But the most important thing, I'll just go over it one more time. Just find it, bear with me a second, is this one here. So when the ball comes in, that's the movement you need to get into your head. So we're going to practice it over and over and over again until it's perfect, and we should have loads of joy. And when we move it on to 11-a-side, it's the same, but you have this like diamond 4 at the back, just in case it does get through here. Right, so thanks for listening, and please ask as many questions as you need to understand it.